little bit of difficulty with this sunflower activity. First of all, I want to point out that the lesson 3-2 is where you're going to find all of the activities. So on page 2 of 3-2, we have this sunflower sampling activity. And what we're trying to do, and all the steps are here, and I'm going to kind of just overview this. We have this farmer growing sunflowers to make sunflower seed. And her field is arranged in a grid pattern, 10 rows by 10 columns. I'm going to show you that in a second. The irrigation ditches run along the top and the bottom of the field. The farmer would like to estimate the number of healthy plants in the field so that she can project how much money she'll make from selling them. It would take too much time to count all plants on 100 squares. So she's going to have to estimate based on a sample of 10 squares. So here we have this grid, right? And we're saying this is the blue here is showing there's an irrigation ditch up here and an irrigation ditch down here, right? And we have a different number of plants in there, and we don't know how much, but we do have a count because that's an activity. But the farmer doesn't know this, okay? So here's how many plants are in each of those boxes. The farmer doesn't know. We know for the sake of this activity. And what we want to find out is there any difference between taking a simple random sample of all 100 squares, or would it be different if we did a random sample by column, meaning we made sure we got one here, one here, one here, sorry, one by row. This would be by rows. Are we getting a sample by rows, or is there a different sample by columns? We're doing all 100. So the first thing it asks you to do is take a sample of 10 of the whole 100. So what I did was I just numbered these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, all the way down to 100. And then I used a random number generator to generate these 10 rows. So these are going to be the 10 that the farmer counts. So they're going to look at row 87. So row 87 would be 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 103. So I would need to take, I'm finding an average here. So 103 plus, how many was in 64? So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 98, plus what's in 53? 53 is 100, plus etc. Dot, 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 till I got to all 10, and then because I have 10, I'm going to divide all of that by 10, that sum. And that's going to be my mean of sample 1. All right, and they're asking you to do this, I think, 10 times. All right, so I would get rid of this random number, and I would say, go. All right, I got 10 new numbers. So I'm going to take these 10 numbers, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to again do a second sample mean. All right, so now I have another sample mean. 75 is 71, 2, 3, 4, 5, 101 plus 47 plus 101, and I would get a mean of sample 2. And when I have 10 samples, I'm going to make a dot plot. And that is our random number, a sample of 10 random of the whole thing. All right, and then now for the second one, I'm going to do it by rows. So I'm going to take a random number, just instead of doing 10 of these, I don't want 10 random numbers. I only want one random number between 1 and 10. Okay, number 10. So that means for this first one, I'm going to take row J, because that is the 10th one of this row. So here, J1. So this is going to be, let me just put like a little dot here. This was our number. So our random number 1 through 10 for the first row was here. And I'm going to do this again. Go. Second one is 8. So my second one is going to be, oops, I don't know how I got a V in there. Let's get rid of the V. All right, I want another dot, and it was 8. So the 8th one is here. And I'm going to do that for the whole thing. Right? So I'm going to get a random number for each of these rows, I'm going to look at the numbers 106, 104. I'm going to add those up, and I'm going to get a mean. I'm going to do it 10 times. So I'm going to get 10 samples going by row. Then I'm going to do the same thing for columns. So if I was doing this by columns, here would be the 8th one, or sorry, the 10th one, and the 8th one. And then I would generate a random number for this row, right? So in one, I'm generating random for the whole thing. And another one, I'm making sure that I get one per row. And another sample, I'm making sure to get one through columns. We're trying to see, does it make a difference how we do our sampling, right? Is the mean going to be different? Is the variation going to be different? How is our sampling going to be, how is our average and our variability going to be different based on how we do our sampling?